Welcome to the Blue Room Podcast, an intimate space where we explore ourselves, our lives, and our relationships more deeply through therapeutic conversation. I'm your host, Fantana Shatamsa, and I'm so grateful to be on this journey with you. Today I have Stephanie here, and she like, you stress me out, but I also love you.
Everybody says that about me.
Like,
just because of what I do.
Yeah,
right?
It's the money queen.
Yeah.
She's an accountant.
It's often bad news, right? So
yeah, usually
some people don't want to talk to me.
So usually when we're seeking you out, it's like we've gotten to that point where it's like, yeah,
exactly.
We need some help.
Steph, I'm in trouble.
We're in trouble, and you hold us accountable, which I love. It's like a love-hate. But when we linked up at the ACE event, like I was like, I really love this girl.
Oh, that was so fun.
It was so fun. It was I'm never gonna try to say what ACE stands for. Do you know?
I don't know at all either. Like I was a +1, but I was already guaranteed tickets for their October event.
Yeah. Oh.
I was the starter of the party apparently.
Oh, you had it lit up. You were like every time I looked over, she was like at the bar, like getting shots and drinks.
Oh my God. I hadn't been out for like 6 months because I go like September to May straight, like solid, like sometimes 6 a.m. to midnight. Like,
yeah.
So I was like first
season.
time out of the cage. That was the day. And I didn't care. I just wanted to have fun.
It was brilliant. It was literally so good. Arts, community, culture, and economics. That's what ACE stands for.
And that was a dope event. And I can't wait till the October one.
It was so dope. Like, it was young creatives, young entrepreneurs that created this space where like we all just got to network and see kind of who was doing what and things like that in the community. So I ran into you and your hubby there, and we just kind of took off. I was like, I'm so glad you're my accountant.
Yeah. That was
so
funny.
Much fun.
Yeah, it was a good vibe.
It was really good. So it kind of takes the stress away from it, knowing that like you're also a real person. You're also like super cool and chill. Like if I have a question, I can text you. Yeah, we have a pretty good relationship that way.
We do.
But before we get into it, I love to pull a card from the deck. Okay. It just kind of sparks some conversation, some thought.
Let's do it.
You can do the honors.
Okay.
Yeah.
So is it a question for me?
For you.
Oh my God, I took like 6. Like, pick the one I want to answer.
Oh, good.
What's your greatest strength and your biggest weakness, and how are they related? My greatest strength, without a doubt, is my work ethic. Mm-hmm. It is the only reason I am where I am. Like I might not ever be the world's best accountant. I'm not the smartest person in the room, but I'll never be outworked. People that hate me will tell you I am a crazy just worker. Like that's just what I can do. Like I can lock in and stay locked in and go the distance on any task.
Nice.
And it would also be, you hate when people say like, oh, my weakness is my strength.
Yeah.
But it is a weakness too, because it has also, when things are tough in my life, I just run to work.
Get right into
and then hide from whatever's going on.
Yeah.
I gotta work.
Yeah.
So it's a good thing and a bad thing.
Yeah.
And sometimes like people around you don't understand that like I'm just built that way.
Yeah.
Like it doesn't mean that like I don't have life-work balance, or I'm not a good mom, or I'm not good at this, or I don't do that, I don't take care of myself. I love to work.
Yep.
It's a passion. What it is.
It's a passion. Yeah. And you're much more than an accountant, and you're much more than deal with finances. You literally help women, you help entrepreneurs, you position people in a better place, you break things down for us.
Definitely.
Yeah, it's much more than numbers.
Oh, for sure. And like there's so much of it that like doesn't hit social media and I don't say anything about, or like connections that I've made and things that I get to do as a result of the way that I do this. So it doesn't feel like work so often, like, the project that we're working on, like that doesn't feel like work. I'm like so excited to work with you. And I have so many people that's exactly the case.
Yeah.
Where like, you're just like, oh, so-and-so's calling. I can't wait to tell them we fixed this problem or we have a solution. Like I love what I do and I love to work hard. So it goes so well together for me.
And you teach, and you also do workshops, and you do like a lot of things. Like you empower people financially.
I do. The teaching thing is so funny. I won't lie. I started teaching for a paycheck.
Yeah.
Someone recruited me within like a specific government department, and they were like, hey, do you want to teach this subject? And I was like, no. And she was like, well, here's the paycheck. I was like, when do I start? So I signed up to do it. I thought, like, this is great. It was pretty shortly after I'd left my full-time job, so it like seemed like some steady, secure income, which everybody loves. Like that piece that like you can count on.
Yeah.
And like 2 days before I was to start, I had not thought of it beforehand that it was public speaking. And I was like, what am I doing? Like, I can't, no way.
Oh my god.
So I like went through all these crazy nerves. And I was like, I'm either gonna do this or I'm gonna watch somebody else do it.
Good.
So I was like, no, I locked in. They did a 4-hour test run. That's how like the process of like getting in went.
Wow.
I had to do a 4-hour presentation in front of 12 people on a subject matter that I didn't really know. Nailed it, and now I'm like 50 courses in.
Wow. That's through the government.
Yeah.
That's so good.
So it's like through like business associations, and then the government sort of pays through the associations, but they're all like who hire me.
Yeah.
And it's like just off
Absolutely.
reputation and
You're well known. Everyone was saying Stephanie at ACE.
Hey.
Everyone knew you at the networking event. And even today, I'm like, everyone knows you.
That's awesome.
I love that for you. I really do.
There was like a time in my life where I didn't want anyone to know me. Like I just wanted to live under a rock. Like I didn't have social media. Like I just had a horrible situationship and I didn't want anyone to know me. So now when I'm like in a safe space in my life and like physically safe and mentally safe, like now when people like know me and stuff, I'm like, I'm not waiting for like something bad to come behind it. Like, I know you because of so-and-so. And I'm just like, I'm so lucky to be out of that. So now like people say they know me because of something I accomplished, it like means
the world,
everything.
For sure. And like even just like the personal side of what you do, like in our private conversations, like just some of the stuff that you've even shared about I don't know if you were like a single mom at one point. Yeah. And you were like, and something that you said to me that I was like, I really need to work with stuff was like, just like you kind of, being like, as a single mom, like I want you to feel empowered, like financially.
Yeah.
I was like, I would love that. Like, I do co-parent, and I call myself a co-parent, but like when the kids are with me, they're just with me. So that is still single parenting. I pay all these bills by myself.
Absolutely. Co-parent means like, to me, like there's so like, we're not all the Kardashians, right? Like where it looks perfect on TV and they have enough money. So there's no fight about the money, which is what really strains co-parenting in normal situations. Yeah. So, I wondered if this topic would come up because it's like something I've always wanted to like run from or hide from because, poking the bear has been dangerous for me for such a long time. But now my oldest, he's 21 and on his healing journey, I want to be like respectful of how I felt through it. Like maybe he didn't feel that way through it. So I've been like mindful of like how I present about it because I have very strong specific feelings about how I felt going through it. But out
of respect for our kids,
I've learned to like
story in a certain way.
I gotta not say it the like ghetto Fairview Steph way that I would have, 6-7 years ago. Now I just gotta be like, I'm over it, I'm healed, so I don't need to tell it over and over and over. And I lived through, even at the ACE event, there was someone there that came up to me that would know that situation, and they're like, hey, we've known each other for like 23 years, like things have changed a lot for you. And I knew exactly what he meant. And through that, like he and I even had some conflict in respect to the situation.
Right.
So when I get there and he's actually apologized to me and we've had like some great communication since, but it's always that thing that like, hey, that terrible time in your life, it's in that person and it's in that person. And now I've like really learned to be like, all of that's okay. Like I'm not in that space anymore. So if they don't like me because of that situation, they're lost. They don't even know me now.
Right. So, and some people like you because of the situation.
For
Isn't
sure.
That crazy?
For sure.
Like,
and some people didn't like me during it, which would have been like 20 years ago. And a lot of things have happened since. And I get like, phone calls and people slide in the DMs and they're like, Stephanie, I can't believe I cited, or I even, made this my business, or I treated you this way, or I said anything. And, like, that's just great. Like, I actually really appreciate when they do that, because I don't want that part to be my life, or to be a part of my life at all now,
like to
in any way. Yeah. I want to be cool with everyone.
Yeah.
And if we were all 17 and 18 and 19 acting like idiots, let's leave it there. We're pushing 40 here, people.
Right.
So the single mom journey for me also is the reason I am where I am.
Yeah.
But is without question like something I would never want to relive.
For sure. And it adds another layer to what you do. It's like, it's not just about the numbers. Like, I feel like when you saw me in the situation that I'm in, because of your experiences, like, you're like, we're going to get you to a place where you feel empowered and you feel secure and you feel stable and you have the money to live the lifestyle that you want to live.
Absolutely.
Which I'm currently still living, but I don't necessarily have the funds to live it.
They're coming. We're working on it.
We're working on it. And I did share in a previous episode about like where my money kind of goes in terms of like, cash reserve versus like investments. Like, I'm big on like putting all my extra cash in investments so that like I'm planting seeds for future. But I put a question.
Look at that. Because like, if your investments don't grow more than the interest on your debt, are you really winning? Are you up?
I don't even know what that question means. That's how lost I am financially, guys. Like, ask that again.
I don't know why I keep saying those things, because everybody says what you just said. What are you talking about?
If the interest on your investments
the interest on your debt
is not
is
even
more
equal.
Expensive than what your investments are earning, you're not really up.
Right.
This feels like right in the moment, because you don't really know what to do yet.
Yeah.
So you're like, let me just do a little of something.
Just something.
And I feel like I'm contributing to moving forward.
Yeah.
But you're going to learn exactly what you need to be doing.
I'll learn what that means eventually. Earlier I pulled the last episode, I pulled the when you last ashamed about your finances. I was like, I wish Stephanie was here to talk me through this question. But I also was like, like, I'm living in this like beautiful home. My kids are taken care of, and I feel like I can do the things that I want, but I do want to be in a better place financially, for sure. And I feel like a lot of us like want to be that way.
I get that. You have some wins on your list though.
I do.
Like, you're happy in your home.
Yeah.
And you're proud of what you're providing for your children. Imagine like just taking those two things off your list and where you would be mentally.
Yeah.
Like, you drowned. Like, that is what like keeps you going, because this is really important to you to provide for them.
Yeah.
And that's like the single mom thing, and probably the single dad thing too.
Absolutely.
Hopefully.
Yeah.
And that's what drives you. So that was what, like, I shared a room with my mom till I was like 12 years old.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
We got a 4-bedroom. Me and Jonah alone had a 4-bedroom apartment.
Yeah.
He was all the way on that side, and I was all the way on that side. Nobody was sharing a room.
Yeah.
So that was really important to me to give him, like, everybody says that, give your kids more than you had.
Better than we had, absolutely.
But it's even like when you're on that entrepreneurship journey, I think like it's not to take away from anybody who has employment and worked a job, because I've been both.
Absolutely.
And I can tell you that the responsibility that I feel to everyone around me versus when I was an employee, I was like, we got it, we don't.
100%.
But now,
I'm calling sick if I need to. Yeah. I'm not invested in this.
For sure. But now I have the option.
Yeah.
That I can make it if I want to.
Yeah.
I can have this amount of money. I can have these things. I write whatever paycheck I want. So you then start thinking like, well, I don't want my kids to wear this. I want them to only have that. And then it goes way beyond, just a better home.
If you can afford it, then it's like, why not? Like,
for sure.
Why
like
not?
We want our kids to be traveled. I didn't leave Nova Scotia, I think, till I was like 18 years old.
Yeah.
And like I think like in a place small like Nova Scotia where people are like everybody's in everybody's business, and it is like there are
and we're not
negative
exposed here.
Yeah.
We're not exposed to different cultures and stuff. There are different cultures around, but I find we're still so segregated in our communities that
Absolutely.
It's not like Toronto. It's like a melting pot where you go to school, your classroom is a whole, the whole rainbow.
Said that.
Yeah, like we don't have that. So yeah, travel is really important for me and my kids as well. I get that.
Totally. It's a huge priority for us. We saved up for a home, and then COVID hit, and we were like, what are we doing? Like, who cares? Who cares? Let's live where we live. And since COVID, we've been to like Mexico, Dominican, New York. I don't even know how many times we've been to Toronto. We're going to Paris in September, and Greece. Like, all those things are just so I could have a house instead, give up that. Because I really, having both is hard. The house and the travel.
Both of them are hard. Choose your hard.
You're right. I'm going to be on the plane.
Yeah. I'll be on my plane.
I'll live in my apartment. I will be on the plane. I'm leaving Sunday. Like we're going to see 50 Cent.
Oh my gosh, in Toronto again? Yeah. Well, I'll be in Caribana next week.
See?
Yeah, so I'm really excited. But it's so interesting because like sometimes we get stuck in that mind frame of like always wanting more. But even what I have now, like this was all that I wanted. Like
that will never stop. That more.
It never will.
It's not
okay, but it's also
materialistic. Like that, you should check yourself, and I check myself. Like every now and again, I'm like, whoa, slow down.
Yeah.
But like wanting to be the best person you can and have a great business. Like I'm putting my employees through like the ringer right now. I can promise you, each and every one of them wants to punch me in the face twice a day. Because I'm like, I want us to be the accounting firm known for client relationships. If you're working on a project, the client gets an email at every whatever phase, and they never go 3 days without an email. And that's new for us. It's just I've never had like structure around it. I've always like kind of thought like, hey, isn't that common sense? Like you just keep it with them. But like they don't always have the same relationship with the client as I do, and they don't have the same experience, or there's lots of reasons that maybe they have anxiety around emailing clients and whatnot. They didn't get as far as they said they were gonna, whatever the reason. And I'm like, I don't care.
You
gotta own it, open. Be transparent. If you didn't finish it, you didn't finish it. But I want better. Even though there's nothing like, there's no money associated with that. I just want the best reputation for the small business accountant we can have.
And that is really so important. I feel like that's one of the big reasons why you're so well known also around here is through that like relationship building. And then just taking that time to like we're on like texting. Sometimes I'm like, okay, I'm gonna send you an email now.
Sorry, I just text you. I should have emailed that one. Let's move the Instagram chat to text. I don't care. Like if your energy is good, I don't have boundaries about where you can communicate with me.
That's amazing.
But if you're an asshole, sorry.
Email.
If you're a jerk, you are limited to email. You text me, I'm going to email you back. You call me, I'm going to email you back. Like you are strictly there. I will even block you from my phone if like we're on that kind of level. Like there's
money's so sensitive. Anyway, let me quickly pull a card right quick because that one's something that I really want to delve into. This one's just for me. Let's see. No, I already answered this last time. We're gonna go for way down here. Okay, what's your greatest fear about getting older? Like I'm not like afraid of death at all. Like I have a belief about death that I actually think that it's quite peaceful, and I think that I think it's like a transition. I don't know what happens after death, but I don't feel like this is all it. So sometimes I'm like, I'm kind of looking forward to that. Like, what I sent you the meme the other day. I was like, the best way for me to get rid of my debt right now is to be in the hospital bed. I'm looking forward to that.
That was a good one.
Joking. That's funny. But it's just always with the kids. Like, it's just, I want to make sure that they're okay. Like, I just want to make sure that, like, everyone is, like, mentally sound, like, financially doing well, in good relationships. Like, I know they're going to have things that they're going to struggle with, but, like, overall, I just want them to be in a good place. And if they're where I am now, I'd be happy for them. Like, I would be. Isn't that crazy?
Yeah, I love
I'm like,
that.
I want to this and that. But I'm like, if, like mentally and emotionally and spiritually, I feel like I'm in a good place. Like, So I'm like, if they're where I am, I would be happy. Like I want them to like be in a good place. But yes, I do push my oldest to study finances. So I'm like, you need to help me. I'm like, you need to go to financial school. Help me. I was like, Amma, I know you're 2 years old, but you're gonna be a doctor. Like Kwame,
lawyer, doctor, accountant.
Yeah, like we know you love to
Trifecta.
talk. Literally, like that's all it is for the kids. Okay, so back to finances and emotions. Like I find financial conversations are like so emotional. Why do you think like people have such strong polarizing like emotions when it comes to talking about money?
It really varies. Like I can tell you, I met with a couple yesterday, and the level of shame that they felt was like, even though the project was done and we'd fixed, you know, everything that they hadn't done, and you know all the things that they were, you know, scared of CRA for, and really like what I understood from their situation and what they were fearing was that like, you know, this government body has access to everything that keeps the roof over my head, and I have not done something they require me to do. So I really could lose my house or my ability to care for my children because they can garnish my wages. They can go in my bank account. Like they are, it's like all whatever they want to do. Yeah, so whatever evil. They want to do, they can do. I saw them recently take tens of thousands of dollars out of someone's bank account who didn't have the money, their account was at zero, put it in the negative, tens of thousands of dollars, and they didn't even actually owe this amount of money.
Oh, Jesus.
And it's going to take longer to fix than this person could keep a roof over their head.
Oh, Lord.
So the fear that the couple I met with yesterday is the reality that somebody else I know is experiencing right now. And I like just, it literally comes from that, like the people that police that side of it can do whatever they want to you to get your attention, and they don't have to go to court first. They can send you 2 letters and be like, demand 1, demand 2, legal action, and it's done. It's surprise you go to the bank and your paycheck's not there. Literally. Your rent bounces. Your car is not in the driveway. Like they'll ask
That's why
you.
Being on welfare is so much easier. Like sometimes I'm like, I'm going back.
Right? Oh my God.
Like, but then they also can, you know, if you make an extra $1 on the side, they will come and take your welfare check. They're like, oh, Jesus.
Yeah, the welfare thing, I have my stance on. I obviously wouldn't ever want to offend anybody, but I come from like a welfare situation.
Yeah.
And I think you can get out of it.
Absolutely, I did.
I think that there should be like a cap on how long, or you should be
given tools
contributing somehow. Yeah, like they should be allowed to go to school. Like why is it set up that
you can't go to
they
school?
Make $1, they could lose their housing, they lose money. Like make it make sense.
Absolutely.
Help them integrate into the workforce, because it's just
class.
Set up so stupid that I get why they would stay on it, because they can't do anything to better themselves to get off of it without punishment.
Absolutely.
So welfare's setup is trash.
It's literal trash. I know I say that, but I was also like way less stressed out when I like had nothing. Like now I'm like, I have so many responsibilities.
Yeah, there's the people that like abuse it and whatnot, but ultimately like the government's put that whole thing in place.
They do. They
police it.
Everything.
Yeah, that's them.
Yeah. I think the emotional attachment to it too is also the ways that like we were brought up. Like, you know, if you grow up with such, you know, little amounts, like you're just like, oh, you know, either you kind of get this retail therapy where like, you know, like spending and splurging, it kind of builds up your confidence, and you need the designer, you need this, or like the other end of it where you're like penny pinching and
I'm a
like
hoarder.
Hoarding.
I'm a money hoarder. My husband will tell you that. I am.
Yeah.
I am.
Damn, that's not a bad thing to hoard.
Right? I have like this process in the morning, like that I have a book that I sit down and I check every credit card, every bank account, and I note the balances, and I have rules about like limits on credit cards and like,
wow.
And the bank account hits this. Nope, I'm not leaving this desk until I bill X amount of dollars and replenish. Like, I don't play about the balances. It's like, so I don't do the shop. I just order online. Like, I know I need a pair of pants, order it. But I'm not going to the mall, like, aimlessly wandering, being like, I spent $1,000. Like, how did I do that? That would never happen to me. Yeah. But my husband's like, Steph, we really need this. And I'm like, but we're too close to the limit. Like,
we're getting there.
Can you just wait till next Friday?
It's emotional,
He's like,
right?
I know you got it. That's why I have it. Like, we're very different in that way, but he makes sure I spend a little and enjoy.
Yeah. We have to enjoy it. I'm very much like, and I get this from my dad. My dad worked taxi for so long. Mom was a saver. I didn't really get that from her. I wish I did. But dad, he was a cash. Like, every day he makes cash, every day he spends cash. Mm-hmm. So, like, it's just in one hand, out the other. He's very flow. Like, he gives. He doesn't care. Like, he'll just go.
That's my husband.
It's like very anything. And I'm kind of like that. I'm like, if money cannot sit in my account, like, peacefully. Yeah. Like, it bothers me.
I think that's, like, the message that, like, the universe, I'm like you, like, also I don't know, like, what happens after life and all that fun stuff, but I think that, like, the universe is sending me a message about, like, my dad is a money hoarder. Like, I didn't really grow up with my dad, but he's now sick. Yeah. And he's only 58 years old. Yeah. And he's hoarded. Mm-hmm. And he's likely not going to get to enjoy the hoarding. Mm. So it's had me rethinking the hoarding. I definitely am going to be a hoarder. I've, like, thought of ways to, like, work more so it doesn't seem like I'm hoarding, because I'll spend that money instead. But I've definitely, like, loosened up a little bit since, like, learning he's sick, because I see my tendencies of him in. I definitely live more than he did. Like, I really truly feel like, if he looks back,
take the kids out.
I do those things, whereas like he just worked.
What's the goal for you? Like, with, like, what's the, like, do you have a financial goal? Why are you doing all this?
Why am I doing all this? So, when you first start, like, I only started to replace my job. Yeah. I hated my job. I just was like, I can't do this. Like, I've quit 2 jobs and, I had a job for 7 years. That was the job that, like, ultimately I knew I was not going to be an employee ever again. Yeah. But before that, like, getting to that job, like, I went through it. I hated this employer, hated that employer. I was like, I was starting a new job, like, every time I turn around, I was like, I'm not trying to do that again to contribute to making somebody else wealthy. Mm. I can't do it. So I got to do this for myself. I need some kind of flexibility. My husband's an immigrant. He at the time wasn't able to work, and we had the small children anyways, so it made sense for him to stay home. But I was like, I'm missing everything. Yeah. I need to be home. Yeah. So I made like $37,000 in the first year. I was like, we made it, babe. Yeah. And now I look like where I'm at, and like, the M word. We always say the M word in our house, because like if you'd ever said like millionaire to me, I'd be like, that ain't about to be me. Like, what are you like? But now you're just like, it's so attainable. It's possible. Now
I read or heard. Yeah, there's more millionaires in the world now, and it's so much easier to be a millionaire now. Yeah. Than
you gotta be self-employed. It has to be your own thing. Like, being 100%. A millionaire as an entrepreneur is very challenging. Like, to go find a millionaire position. Like, I have folks around me that have done like great investing and become millionaires that way
as an employee.
But any millionaire I know owns their own, does their own thing.
Yeah, for sure. Do you? Like, I mean, I guess I want to ask this, but I don't know the answer. Like, financial boundaries. Like, what? Like, I guess what if someone's just like wanting to make better financial choices? Where can we start?
Oh, where to start? I think you can't make better choices if you don't have an understanding of where your starting point is. Yeah. So I get that question actually, like, similar to, you worded it way better, but most people are like, I don't know what to do. If you're running a business and you don't have anything in place to understand your revenue and your expenses, or similarly with your household, what comes in and what goes out, there's no conversation to even have, because you don't know where you're at. So how do you go anywhere or make a plan to go somewhere when you don't know where you're starting? It's like putting some random address in Google Maps, but not telling Google Maps where you're driving from.
Like, we just be avoiding it because we're just,
it's
such a scary conversation. It's like,
it is, but it's like one of those things you just gotta rip the Band-Aid off and you can't fix it if you don't know.
My answer to, like, I would have been like, okay, if someone was to ask me, but where can we start, making better financial decisions? Yeah, well, I mean, call Stephanie. But my initial thing was like make more revenue. But the hell, like you can't. Like if you don't even know where your money's going, and you don't like, it's not hard for me to find ways to generate revenue. Like I don't find like creatively, like as an entrepreneur, it's like really easy to.
I agree.
Generate revenue.
Once you like open your mind to that piece, that money coming in piece is not a problem.
Yeah, it's the other end.
Yeah.
And it's like, what do we do with the money? Like, what do we do with it? Like, we're just paying bills, trying to invest in things.
In one, out the other.
We're trying to save. How much percentage should we be saving?
How much should you save? Without question, 20%.
Always.
20% in like a contingency.
20% of every dollar?
Yeah. And that's like just, that can be for taxes, for disasters, whatever. Like, I could give you like a whole model of what you should do. But if you can't put away 20% of what you're bringing in, whether it's going to end up in investment or pay your taxes or whatever, like you can't, then you're not making enough in the first place.
So that's 20% savings outside of investment, or
no, just put it in, like dump it in a savings, so that all these things that are coming up that you don't understand as a business owner when you get started, you have some money to handle them, because they're going to happen, and they're not going to happen to you in the first year.
Yeah.
You're not going to see it until after your taxes in the second year.
Right.
And then third year CRA's calling, and you're like, I'm doing all this and I'm not saving any money, I'm not doing this, I don't have any investments, I don't have anything to show for it. Like all those conversations start happening. So if you can, just pad the bank so that you can handle things happening.
Excuse me.
I have like, my tax bill in September is disastrous, but I can handle it.
Oh,
I have it, right?
See, that's like such an empowering statement.
It is.
Like, I got this though.
Yeah, I don't want to pay it.
Yeah, but you can.
But I will.
So 20% in the business and then 20% personal as well.
I wouldn't say you necessarily have to do so much personal, because I think like you have a somewhat of an understanding what's happening in your personal life. You've had a job, you kept the roof over your head. Yeah. It's when you throw in the business component that people just, it goes AWOL.
It does.
It's a mess.
And CRA these days is
They're
cracking.
Not playing.
You mentioned it. I'm seeing it in my own family, in my own circles.
I've never seen them be like this ever.
Oh, they're cutting old people's checks. Mm-hmm. Seniors, guys. Seniors. They're cutting old people's checks for being late on their taxes. That's rude. These people have worked their whole lives.
Yes. Yeah, they have the slips. They know what they made.
They literally know
everything. Do your tax return for them. Call it a day. Send them their money.
Just for lateness. They won't. It's so crazy. You said it. Our banks are letting us know. Like, just make sure you're on top of it.
I'm scared for some folks.
I'm not that bad.
No, you're not. Thank God. No, I would tell you too. I was like, hey,
I'm scared enough.
So you know,
yeah.
There's a little guy with a briefcase at your door. Don't answer.
This is a thief in the night. We're just gonna go out the back door.
Late night move.
We know about them. Oh my gosh, no, like CRA is cracking down.
Yeah.
There was something else I was gonna say, and I forget it. But anyway, I'm gonna go to our Instagram right quick and just pull up our questions, and then if the question comes back, I'll circle back. Yeah, so we said 20%. Not worried about so much about the savings, but how do you feel about like life insurance? Do you believe in life insurance?
Oh, girl, my life insurance is on lock.
Like, you got it.
I stay on top of that, like, and I adjust as like my income or my family situation adjusts.
Yeah.
Like, I would want my husband to never have to work again if I died, and focus on being the best mom and dad he could be. Like, I don't even know how people do it when one parent passes. Like, the single parent thing is a whole different fight. Then hopefully in the single parents, even when it's not a great situation, the kid still has a relationship with the other parent. I might hate you, but my kid loves you. When one parent isn't there, that's crazy to take that on. So we both have like life insurance. I have a really good guy too.
I do pay into life insurance for us, and I also have critical illness, which is kind of like, they describe it as a savings account. So like after 18 years, all the money that we put into it, we could withdraw if we wanted to, or continue to keep paying into it. And the payout, if something was to happen to me for the kids, is definitely gonna be good enough for them. So that's where my money's going.
Yeah.
It was literally that, RESP,
just in
RSP.
case, right? Like,
Yeah.
I hope I never need it, but
It's better to know. And then what if you don't need it? Then all that money's gone.
That's the same with your car insurance, same with
everything.
your tenant insurance, house insurance. Like, you don't need it till you need it. I got in a really bad car accident in January, and I literally you could probably go on my Instagram and find a video of me complaining about insurance, though.
Oh, really?
And then I never said nothing about insurance ever again.
I saw your accident post. I was like, geez.
That guy took my car out.
Wow.
Yeah, I was very lucky there. So,
so you recommend life insurance to folks?
I do. 100%.
Yeah. RESPs, RRSPs, you good with those? Not into it?
I'm not into RRSPs. It's like, you defer. You don't pay tax now, but you pay it later. So unless you plan on going, like your income plans on going down significantly, there's no savings. So I don't.
So you just take that money and put it in a TFSA or something?
Yes. Yeah, the TFSA.
You like those?
Yeah, I do.
Okay. Noted. Let's call my bank today.
Forget that.
Pull them all out. Okay, where was the question? Oh, it was on the front. Okay, so question for you, actually. What would you rather? Lots of cash, thriving investments, or bomb credit?
Ooh. So I had bad credit for a really long time.
Did you?
Poor decisions made when I was young, did what I had to do, like just maxed out credit cards, knowing I didn't have money to pay them.
Yeah.
And having good credit has opened a lot of doors for me at this stage. So I have X amount of dollars in the bank. That never comes up when I want to go buy something or,
It's credit, always.
It's always the credit. So cash is great.
Yeah.
But the credit piece, it has created some opportunities and made my life significantly easier.
Yeah.
And I was so limited before with poor credit.
Yeah.
So credit is a mega.
That's the way.
Yeah. For my stage of my life right now, because I'm not thinking about retirement.
Yeah.
And I also plan that like my business will ideally sell, or one of my kids will take it over, and I'll. Yeah. So I do have investments, but I'm not all TFSA. Actually, Jonah, my son, manages it all for me. It's just so funny. He's like a genius about it.
Really?
It's crazy. He just talks circles around me about it. He's so smart about it. He'll be a millionaire by like 40 based on his plan with his TFSA.
Jeez, good for him. Right? I'm trying to marry his way.
Do it.
Like, marry.
Take care of him.
Yeah. So folks said thriving as investments. That was 79%. Bomb credit was 10%. Lots of cash was 11%.
What's lots of cash?
It's just CRA can't come after you.
Like, where is it under the mattress? Because like CRA can take your bank account. Like you sign when you open a bank account in Canada that like CRA
has access.
Not that they have access, but the bank answers to CRA. So if your name is on whatever garnishment or plan or whatever, girl, that bank is up for grabs.
I'm going to tell you a quick story. I was so mad when I first started the RESPs and the RRSPs because it was through my bank. And I didn't realize it, but I had signed that if it wasn't in my checking, they could take it out of my savings. And it was like the beginning of the month when like we had all these bills due and I didn't have anything in my checking, but I had it in my savings so that when the first of the month was coming, I could transfer it over. And they literally took like, I think it was like $500 or $600 out of my savings to pay these investments. I was like, if it's not in my checkings, it's not there. Don't go to my savings. My savings are for me to save. And they're like, well, you signed off on this.
All those pages, nobody knows what they
You just sign it. But they can do that. And I was like, put that money back like today. And they were like, well, it's going to take like 5 business days. I was like, my bills are due tomorrow. Help me. Like, it was so crazy. Like, it's Jesus. Like, money is king. Like, it has to.
Cash is definitely king. I can tell you though, like, the credit piece it's so important. Like, if I have to make a big purchase, because I have good credit, most things that I need to purchase for business or whatever it is, I can get at like a stupid low interest rate. That's probably not as relevant given what's going on right now with the economy. But, prior to the last 6 to 12 months, I could get it for almost no interest and then pay over 12 or 18 months and not have to part with $10K all at once. I could pay $800 a month. And once that cash is gone, like, yes, I can make it again, but if I can like extend my buying power with credit.
That's what I read. I think it was Apple or one of the big, businesses that have all these millions and trillions and billions of dollars. Like they have cash reserves like crazy, but then when they want to go purchase something, they don't use their cash.
Never use their money.
They go right to their credit and they use their credit because it builds them either like more credit. So I didn't really understand the language.
Yeah, there's like a lot of like U.S. versus Canadian like ways to do things, but like if you ever Rich Dad, Poor Dad is sort of what you're starting to describe. It's a book that just a man that lives off of loans and all of the interest is expensible through his business, so he actually pays no tax because it's just like this crazy setup that he has. It doesn't quite work the same in Canada, but you can
I
be
read
rich.
half of that book.
Yeah, off of debt. Like there are ways. There are ways.
Teach me.
Yeah.
I want to be rich off debt.
I don't. I like the good credit thing.
Yeah, the good credit.
I do.
Uh-huh.
I do. I'm enjoying that for a couple more years.
Okay.
Maybe I'll get riskier as I get older.
Well, I'm just whatever you say because I don't know nothing. So if we're not trying to get rich off debt, we're not trying to get rich off debt. We're not doing that.
Good credit and cash.
Okay.
That's where we're at.
We're gonna need to do a one-on-one. Okay, where can folks like get a hold of your services or your workshops and things like that?
So mainly, I know I should have like this, my website should have all this up-to-date stuff, but I'm like, my husband runs that side and I want to post it now. So I always tell people, follow me on Instagram, Miss Folahan or Mrs. Folahan, and Stephanie Folahan.
Folahan.
Yes, you got it. And then Stephanie Folahan on Facebook. I always post what I'm doing. If it's a workshop or a course, it's definitely free. So there's lots of resources. You'll be likely in a room with a small group of people that are going through exactly what you're going through. So like, don't let that group setting be scary for you. It's actually really comforting for most people. So my website, you can probably get to know a little bit more about me and my services specifically. But if you're looking to like get in a room with me about a workshop or a course, my socials is where to go.
Yeah, you're good on your socials. You love to engage
there,
with us.
Yeah,
you're involved.
I'm present.
Yeah, and your website is Premier Tax?
Yeah, is it?
I don't know.
Premier Tax Halifax? Yeah, it's Premier Tax Halifax.
It's
main
like
handles all that. Oh my God, that was bad.
Miss Folahan on Instagram.
Yes.
That's the main way to get a hold. I love it. I love it.
Yeah.
I just had another question and it just escaped me. Oh, actually your husband, is he still teaching basketball?
Coaching?
Yeah. Still coaching?
Yeah.
So that was the first time I met you guys. I was telling you the story. Mara was like struggling in basketball camp because Ming was like
trying to kill everybody.
He's a real athlete.
Oh, he don't play.
Yeah. So he's still doing that.
He does. Yeah,
nice.
He was at SMU all week. He assistant coaches or associate head coach at SMU. He's like a little less involved with like the younger groups now. He still like work with really little kids. Like they just love his height. Like,
it's like 10 feet tall.
Right. So literally, I have a specific distance to stand so I don't hurt my neck. To like stand to look at him in the eyes. It's funny. Yeah, he's such a big guy. But
that is so funny.
So he's definitely still heavily involved with ball. But he's really focusing on his marketing thing.
Nice. So
that's
so good.
It works. It's good for me.
I love seeing you guys together, and your family's beautiful. And thank you for like making finances seem like a real, relatable thing. Yeah. I appreciate you.
Thank you.
Well, thank you. We'll definitely love to have you back. Thank you for being on today. And for everyone listening, hope you liked the episode. Feel free to join the conversation. Follow us on Instagram, The Blue Room Podcast. And we'll see you guys soon.